Hello and welcome back to Portugal News. We are a British couple, me, Awen, and my husband, Dave. We emigrated to Central Portugal in 2019 with our two border collies, Bran and Griff. And if you've been watching the previous videos, we've just taken on a rescue, Tom. So we've got three dogs now. I was a secondary school teacher in the UK, and my husband is a builder and he still works as a builder now in Portugal. So, our vlog is basically showing you guys around what we've found in Central Portugal, what we've discovered, what it's like living here, places we go to, and mostly bits and bobs of renovating our house. You saw in the last video that we tackled rendering the garden wall together. So that was really nice being able to work with Dave, because normally he's busy renovating other people's houses here. So he's working today and all this week. So I'm just going to show you around what I've been getting onto so far with renovating the house from that very first video. So I'm going to walk you around the house and the gardens and the vegetable garden, just like I did in that very first video, following the same format and basically showing you what we've been able to do, what Dave's been able to do on weekends if he's not too tired, and what I've sort of tackled here on my own with limited tools, because Dave takes most of his good tools to work with him, so I haven't got a huge amount to work with. We've also not got a ton of money, so it's not like I guess the renovation projects that Dave does professionally, where there's a big chunk of money and a whole load of people working on renovating a house where it happens really quickly. Renovating our house is just something we're doing in our spare time when we've got like a bit of money and a bit of time. So probably not done loads since that first video, but we've been cracking on with it slowly, so hopefully you can see some improvements. But I'll follow the same format as I did in that very first video. And if you want to look at that first video again, where I show you around the house, I'll put a link in the description below. So it's July now and it's just got really hot, and everything is blooming and very green and very beautiful. This is the giant, huge, big chestnut tree that we have. That's at the boundary of our property, just inside our property, and it's huge. So this is our chestnut tree, and it's well over a metre wide. So we get a lot of chestnuts off that, if you'd have seen in previous videos. And then this is our house, and the sky is incredibly blue today, and the temperatures is in like the 30s, which is lovely. So we've still got some building materials here that we keep topping up, so we keep getting a delivery from the builders merchants in Villanova for the different types of sand, because we're always sort of getting on with something. And I've been putting gravel down here to help the cars get out, because there's quite a bit of a slope going down here to where we park the cars. We did have a huge big pile of rubble here that was originally from all the internal walls upstairs that we took down, and the old wall that was here. So that was a massive pile of rubble. We had that removed by a professional company, but they're not doing it anymore. This is a whole new pile of rubble that I'm slowly getting rid of, taking it a carload at a time to the recycling centre. It's like a tip in Penella, and you can register at the tip in Penella, and you just take it there in your car, and they weigh the car, and then they weigh the car when you leave, and then you just pay for the weight of rubble. So usually a carload costs about €3. So I'm tackling this a bit at a time, just a carload at a time. And eventually I'll get there with it. But it's like whenever I've got free time, I'll take a carload to the tip, and eventually we'll get rid of that. And then going back up, I've done a little bit to the front of the house. I've sort of planted more plants. So we really wanted really nice hydrangeas because the house opposite us has got absolutely gorgeous hydrangeas. But as are quite little, and we've had these for 4 years, so I was sort of hoping they would have grown a bit, but they're a bit slow coming along. These are getting quite big now. These were in little pots when we first got to the house and we planted them, so they've got a lot bigger. And it's quite traditional to have these outside your house in Portuguese houses, so we thought that'd be quite nice. These plants just grow like weeds. I've already got rid of them once, so they just keep coming back, but they're quite pretty and they've got quite nice pretty red flowers. And then I've just planted lots of different wildflowers, so they're all coming up now and they look quite sweet. This is a jasmine plant I've got growing here just next to the front gate, and what I'd like to do is do a sort of trellis going up the wall here, and I can have that jasmine plant going all the way up the wall here, and maybe eventually going round the front gate, and that would look quite nice. And then I've got a few more plants on this side, another hydrangea there, and then I planted the 2 plum trees here. They're doing okay. I nicked one of them with the strimmer when I was strimming, but I think it's okay. And then that's the boundary there, and obviously it's in there that I've got the vegetable garden. Now I did pressure wash this and paint it again, but the weather here this year has just been relentless. It's just got nice now, and it is such a relief because we did have quite a rough winter up here. We even had snow. So yeah, we had snow in March, I think it was. Great. Okay, I'll show you what we've been doing in the garden. Hello, Thomas. Okay, so we've got this lovely fuchsia bush here that got a little bit battered when we did the scratch coat, but I've been watering it every day and it looks okay. Pool's looking good. We finally got some wooden chairs to replace them horrible plastic chairs. And then over here we've got like a little patch of trees and plants that we're just keeping in pots at the moment because we're not entirely sure what we're doing with the garden still. I've got these are avocado plants I've got growing here that I grew from stones that I kept. So I've got 3 avocado plants there. I've got 1 little strawberry plant. This is a magnolia that Dave bought me, which I'm thinking of swapping with another magnolia tree we've got here. This is where we keep the firewood and all my planting bits and pieces. We got through an immense amount of firewood this winter and we had to spend quite a bit of money on firewood. I think I've shown you all the trees and stuff that we have growing here. We've got plums, we've got, these are really big beautiful fig trees all lining the garden boundary there. We've got 2 orange trees. They're doing really well. We were looking at pictures of when we first bought the house, and just how much, you don't realise how much the garden changes. So This orange tree, and I described this one as a lemon tree when we first got here. It's actually another orange tree. They were tiny when we bought the house, and they're really big now, and we get loads of oranges off of them, so that's nice. I made this planter, so that's new. We had some pallets left over, so we took the pallets apart, and well, Dave really constructed this planter for me, and then I lined it and painted it with outside paint. I think it's called duck egg blue. And then I planted lavender from seed, and I was really happy because we've actually got lavender this year. It's taken 2 years to grow this lavender. So I'm really happy because it's taken such a long time to grow it. So I finally got lavender, and it smells so good. And apparently lavender as well is really good for keeping mosquitoes and stuff away. So it's in a really good place there just by the pool. You remember me planting these yuccas. They've not grown a lot, which is great, really. They're a nice size, just like that. They look quite pretty. But also, I think their roots can be a bit damaging if they get massive. So we're quite happy with them and how they look. And it makes the garden look quite tropical, which is very nice this time of year. This is another gift that I got. This is another magnolia that Dave's employer bought me for my birthday, because they know that I love magnolia trees. But this one's not as big as the one Dave got me, and I'm wondering, because of where it is, perhaps it's worth swapping that magnolia, this magnolia here, with the magnolia Dave got me. So I might do that at some point. And then I've got some more seedlings coming over here. I'll show you them after I've shown you the vegetable gardens, and I'll explain what they are. And then we've just got this really cheap €350 pool from Leroy Merlin, which has been an absolute blessing, godsend. It's just so needed this time of year because it just gets so hot. Sometimes sort of unbearably hot. So we're in the 30s now, but it'll go up to like the 40s, sometimes high 40s, and you just really need to have something where you can just get in and cool down. We're really close because we're in walking distance of one of the most beautiful river beaches, which is how most people here cool down, because the river beaches, the water's quite cool. So especially where we are up on the mountain, it's mountain river water running through the river beach. So I'll show you that in another episode as well. I have shown you in a previous episode that river beach, but it was in winter and it didn't look as magnificent as it does now. It looks really lovely. So that's how we cool down here, because we're an hour away from the beach. So most people either have some sort of pool, plunge pool, something to cool down in at their house, and then you go to a river beach, or you can go wild swimming. If you follow the Portugal Muse Facebook page or Instagram page, I quite often do posts on there that I haven't done any filming on. It's literally just like me and Dave going to do sort of wild swimming, taking the dogs with us. So if you wanted to check out nice places to go, I often put stuff up on the Facebook page or the Instagram page. The water's looking pretty inviting right now, and I think once I've finished filming, I'm getting in, and there's nothing better than sort of sitting this side. I'll get in and sit this side of the pool, and I just look up and I've just got forest and that sort of crazy blue sky where there's just not a single cloud in the sky. It's just that totally amazing colour blue, and then forest, and then blue again. And it's just, I feel very, very lucky when I've got time to just relax and use the pool. I'll show you the veggie garden. So something I had to do when Tommy Tom Tom came to live with us was put a fence up. So we didn't have a fence before. Now Tom was pretty feral, so we had to sort of try and keep him in. So one of the first things I did was put a fence up when we got Tom. And then I've had to put like a little fence around the veggie garden because Tom likes digging and he likes eating my vegetables. So, and I think you just saw like soil the last time you were here because I was getting my seedlings ready and then we stopped YouTubing. But yeah, so this is my veggie patch. It's only little, but it's just the two of us, so we just grow what we need, what Dave and I like, and what we're likely to use. I've always got some herbs on the go because I love using herbs in my cooking. So I've got some mint growing here. So say I do a tzatziki, or I'll do an Indian where I'll use mint with the yogurt. It's really nice to have your own mint. And then this here is sage again. I'll still do a Sunday roast even when it gets really hot. So I quite like to do like a sage and onion stuffing. And then this is parsley I've got started here, but it's still quite small. So I'm hoping that's going to get bigger. I'll start at the top over here. So I've not taken the veggie garden all the way up to the top because what we're hoping to do is, we've still not done it, but take that bread oven down, and then this whole bit here is going to get dug out. We're going to use the bread oven as hardcore, and we want to build some sort of a shed or a lean-to that takes up this whole space here, this whole area, all the way up to the house. So it'll be quite big, which is what we need for storing all our gardening stuff, bikes, lawnmower, strimmer, all that stuff that you don't want inside the house, which is currently downstairs in the loggia, or some people call it a dega. And then obviously all that stuff can be stored here, and we can start renovating the downstairs, which we haven't done yet. I love working in the vegetable garden because this is my view, which is such a stunning, it's such a beautiful view, and it's just blue skies and then forest in the distance. And then I've shown you before, but we've got several tiers of land below us, which is all forest. So it's such a beautiful, tranquil place to spend your time. And it is what I like doing most now, is just going to various different garden centres and buying plants and plugs and seeds and just having fun and growing stuff in the vegetable garden and in the garden. So in the past, I've just had 4 courgette plants, and that's more than enough. So once they start churning out courgettes, that's about as much as we can get through. So that I've done the same again this year, and they were fantastic last year. I got some really beautiful, tasty, juicy, large courgette, and they've just started to flower. So you can see in this one, the flowers just coming. And the flowers are lovely because you can eat them as well. And then tomato plants are really funny because they can literally self-seed anywhere. So that's a tomato plant that wasn't intentional, but I'm not going to move it because if you move them, they don't seem to like it. So I'm just going to leave it there. And then all here, I've got my cabbages, and they're delicious. So I eat them raw, sort of shredded. and I also have them for making the Portuguese caldo verde, which is green soup. So I don't think these are the correct cabbages for caldo verde, but it works well. They're very nutritious and they're really tasty. Something obviously is finding them very tasty as well, but I certainly don't want to be using any chemicals, and there's still plenty there for me to eat. So yes, it's they look like they've been eaten already, but I don't think I'm going to be using any chemicals on them. And I'm quite happy to share them as long as there's enough left for me. So they're my cabbages. And then I tried growing rhubarb from seed and I couldn't. So I bought this one rhubarb as it was a tiny little plant, and it's grown really big. So it's like, I don't know if you can see the size. It's giant now, and we've got plenty of rhubarb coming. So that's quite exciting because my favourite crumble is a rhubarb crumble. So that's coming along nicely. And then, as you can see, my lettuces have bolted. Not all of them, but just recently they've all bolted. So you can still eat these leaves, but what I'll do is I'll cut the tops off because they've started to seed. You can see, and once they bolt like that, they don't taste as nice. But I've got more lettuces coming, so once we've finished eating what's left on these, I'll replace them with the new ones I've got coming. So this one's okay, but most of them now have bolted, so they look really tall. They're not supposed to look like that, obviously. And then here I've got leeks, so they're coming along quite nicely now. They're quite big, so they'll be ready soon. And I love leek and potato soup, so I probably don't want to eat it this time of year, but I'll make it and freeze it. And then I love using leeks almost like onions or spring onions in dishes, especially when I do like stir fries or Thai food. I use leeks almost like you'd use an onion or a spring onion, so I can still use them this time of year. So that's good. And then next step is beetroots. So the first time I grew beetroots was last year, and they did so well. They were really, really big by the time I took them up. So they're coming along quite nicely now. And you could also eat the leaves in salads. So the leaves are quite nice. Even in like sandwiches, I'll use the leaves. And then what we did last year, because we got so many beetroots, was I pickled them. And it's amazing because we've still got beetroot that I pickled in the fridge right now from last year, and they'll soon be getting sort of replaced with these ones. So I like that you can grow something and then make it last until the next time they come up. And then these were lovely when they first came up. So this is spinach, but obviously they've gone to flower as well. But I love spinach. So good for you. And it's delicious. So it's delicious raw, just like this. Yum. So I love spinach. I love the taste of it. I love the texture. I like it fried, but also just raw in salads. But yeah, that's already started to seed. So I've planted more of that. And my seedlings are coming up now, and I'll show you them in a minute. And then I've got a lot of different varieties of tomato plants. So big ones, little ones, cherry tomatoes, the big beef tomatoes I've got this year as well. So I thought it'd be quite fun to try different tomatoes. And like they all need looking after differently. Like this one's a bit of a monster. This will need sorting out, where I take off the bottom branches and get it to climb up the bamboo. But yeah, all the tomato plants I've got this year are different varieties, so they're growing at different rates. Something that I've really struggled with, and I'm wondering if anyone else has had this problem, is this plant here. It looks like, like a four-leaf clover sort of plant, and I take it out, and there's like, it's almost like, I don't know what you call them. There's like almost like an onion-shaped bulb at the bottom, and you can take them out and take all the bulbs out, and they just keep coming back. And I've weeded the veggie patch 3 times now, so I need to do it a fourth time. So there's more of this clover stuff just keeps coming up, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So if anybody's watching that knows what this is and how I can get rid of it, is something farming those bulbs? Is there a reason they keep coming back? If you can let me know in the comments, I'd really appreciate that, because it's becoming annoying to have to keep doing it. And then the last thing I've got over here is I planted purple carrots. Now they've gone to seed. The few that I did pick up, you can see it's massive and it's already started to flower. The ones I took up last time, there was just nothing there. So let's have a look and see if there's anything here. No. So I don't know what's going on with this. As you can see, it's absolutely huge. So I've obviously done something wrong with these purple carrots. I'll throw that over the edge. Because they're massive, and you'd think, they've got enough room. So yeah, the purple carrots haven't been a success story yet, which is a shame, because I really worked the soil here. I sieved it, got all the rocks out, got all the weeds out. They've come back, and I put a load of like special fertilizer. So I thought my carrots would have a good shot, but they haven't worked, and it might be the time of year that I planted them. So I've got seedlings coming, and I'll try them again. And then I've just got 3 pepper plants. So I've got one there, and then another one here. So hopefully I'll get some peppers. But that's the tour of the veggie patch. I'm really pleased with it. It was better last year, but we had much better weather last year. The weather's been a bit tricky this year, lots of rain, and we even had snow. So but it still excites me. Every year I do it. It's just every year is different, and it's just so much fun, and it's something to be proud of. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I don't know if you can see down there, but the trees are full of what will be chestnuts at some point. So there's a lot of blossom on the chestnut trees, and we'll be getting a lot of chestnuts this season. So that's quite exciting. Also, if anyone knows what this is, so this is growing all along the edge, and I've been told you can eat this flower. It's almost like a wild sweet pea. So I think you can eat these flowers, but they've also got like little peas on them, like little pea pods. Be interesting to find out what they are. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've read on one of the pages that you can eat these flowers. I've got some plums coming here. I don't know if you can see that. So this is the plum tree. That's the established one, and we get a few plums. On there, and then obviously the figs are coming. So we'll get so many figs. We've got 4 fig trees, and we get a ton of figs that I tend to turn into a chutney, which is nice on the different cheeses. We're really lucky where we live. There's like fantastic cheese here from Rabasal. So Rabasal's about, I think, like 20 minutes from us. And then I'll make a chutney with these figs, and then that chutney is really nice with cheese. And then this chest was downstairs, so we've moved it out here, and then we keep things like mats and stuff that we don't use, or rugs that we don't use in it, and the Christmas trees in there. So it's a handy place to keep things, because we were trying to empty the downstairs and sort out the downstairs. So I'll just show you where we've got to. So it's still a bit of a mess, but it's much better than it was. We've had a tidy up. This is a really big space that will eventually be a big bedroom, and we'll have stairs coming down this side from upstairs, big corridor here, and then a big master bedroom here. But yeah, we just haven't got round to that yet, and I'm going to build the lean-to, or the shed, at the back of the vegetable garden, and then all this sort of stuff, bikes, we've got strimmer and things like that can all go in the shed, and then this will be empty then, and then we can get on with this. This is a bit tidier in here now. I'll try to make it tidy, and then that'll eventually be the bathroom. And then something I did was I painted all the doors. So I painted the doors, any doors and windows that were still wood, I restored them and painted them in the same colour blue that I did the bathroom door and shelves upstairs. And then Dave put in this window, because we were going to use this room as like an office, because I was trying to get online work, and I would have needed a window so I could shut the door and then the dogs wouldn't be barking. But I've not been able to get online work, so it's disappointing, because it would be good to earn some money so that Dave could get some time off and work on the house. But I've not been able to get online work. But it's good that we have put this window in, and I have painted it all in here. So it's all painted now, and it's all quite clean. But yeah, it's just still a fair bit of clutter. But Dave's son's coming to visit us in a month, so we want to try and turn this room into a nice bedroom for him to stay in when he comes on holiday here in a month's time. So we want to finish the electrics in here, declutter, get rid of all this clutter, put it in the other big room just while he's staying. And then I think we're going to attempt to build a bed and bedside table. But yeah, the main thing that makes it livable is that there's a window now, so that's good. I'll show you upstairs. So not a huge amount has changed. I was really pleased with the paint that we used, because I've not had to paint this again since I did it last. If you remember back to one of the videos, we did get a bit of condensation in here and the ceiling got mouldy, but this new, more expensive paint we used, that's worked. So I'll try and remember what it was and put a link in the description below, but I'd highly recommend that, because using the cheaper paint just didn't work, and that paint has definitely worked, and that's kept it looking nice. We've got 2 openings here. So I painted this door. It's like a double door, and it looks really nice. That's in that same blue that I used for the bathroom, so I'm pleased with how that came out. And then this is just an open space here, which we've put the beads on so that we don't get flies coming in. But there's still a lot of flies this time of year. But the hope is before Dave's son comes, we can brick this all up. And then our bit of the house is completely separate then, and he can still use the bathroom, which is through here, which is the same really as when you saw it last. The windows held up, so that's good. I'll show you the view. There's quite a nice view up here, and you can see just how big all those chestnut trees are in the forest below us. So yeah, that's the bathroom. And then I'm trying to think what else we've done. So I think you remember in previous videos that we got the dining table and the dresser. Those were thrifted off of Facebook, and they're Urkel, and I'm really happy with them. So that's like really nice British quality furniture that should last us. Really happy with that buy. One of my paintings. Still working on this painting. A few people were asking. Yeah, still working on that. Something we did do was we insulated the whole roof. So let's see if that looks like. That was a big job. Dave did that and I helped him. So we used a damp-proof membrane on the outside under the tiles. Then we used the insulation, and then we've used this sort of foil stuff on top, which is also insulated. So that was really good this winter to keep the heat in, but it was a particularly cold winter, so we still got through quite a bit of firewood. I did some new curtains for the kitchen. Someone very generously donated this fridge freezer to us. I've never had a Smeg fridge freezer before. I was like really shocked when I found out how much they cost. But yeah, someone gave us that, so that was brilliant. Thank you for that, if you're watching. So, and obviously I did all the windows. So that one I renovated, or I don't know what you'd say. I fixed them, so they were all. I think this one I did. You saw me doing this one. So I put new putty in, sanded them all down, painted them, and they look significantly better than they did. Same with that door. So sanded it all down. Any like damage, I filled it in with wood filler. And then I think I did like 2 coats of paint, and it was the same, all the wooden windows. So you might be able to see this one a bit better. So they were in quite a poor condition, and I think they look quite nice now, so I'm quite happy with them. But we'll still eventually get rid of them, and we'll replace all the windows and doors with double glazing. So that's the plan for that. And then we've got a lot of use out of our log burner. I love this painting here. I think it's called Midnight Smoke. So there's a really fantastic artist here called Todd, and he did a load of artwork when we had our cafe here, and together we created a gallery space, and he does the most amazing paintings. I'll see if I can put a link to his work if you wanted to have a look. He sells prints as well, but he gave us this one as a thank you. But I said to Dave, like, you can pick which one you wanted, and Dave was really drawn to this one. So we're really grateful, because we absolutely love it. There's just something about the way he paints, and especially portraits that he does. There's a nice mood to them. We're just in one room, so we're still sleeping here. we've got a bigger bed, but yeah, hopefully one day we'll have a separate bedroom and we can sleep downstairs, because it can be a bit trying sometimes when you're renovating and you've got 3 dogs. But I wouldn't change anything. I love it. I love what we have here. Always really grateful. So yeah, that's the upstairs. I think I've shown you everything now. So I guess, I know, maybe if you're looking at it from the outside, you can see that we've done quite a bit since the last time you saw it, but sometimes when you're living here, it feels like we're not progressing very quickly. But it's just the way it is, and I think a lot of people are in a similar situation to us. They sort of left the UK just before Brexit and came here with what they had, and we're still just trying to make it work. We love it. We're not going back, even though Labour just got in, which is great. Much better than that Tory government. But try and not make the channel political. But yeah, it's a relief that Labour got in. But I think we're still going to stay here. We very much love living here. We know how lucky we are. So we've just got to try and make it work. I'll just show you my seedlings before we go, just to show you what I'm getting on with here. I made the same mistake again this year. I've not labelled them, and I should have done. It was really silly, but I'm pretty sure I know what they all are. So I've got these are the purple carrots, so I'm going to try them again, and maybe if you guys can comment and tell me what you think I might have done wrong, maybe these guys will be more successful. And then these are beetroots. Never have enough beetroots, especially when they keep so beautifully. And I think these are just marigolds, so I like putting the marigolds in and amongst the vegetables, because I think they help insects to not eat the vegetables. I think I read that somewhere. And if I've got spare ones, I put them out the front. And then these are my new lettuces coming up, so they'll be ready soon. And then I think these are cucumber, but my cucumbers failed last year. They just didn't work, so hopefully these cucumbers will come up. I might try them in pots. But yeah, I think that is everything now. And I'm going to get in the pool because it's still unbelievably hot. It's definitely in the 30s. And it's 5 p.m. now, and it's not getting any cooler, so I'm going to get in the pool. So thank you again for joining me this week for a tour of the house and the garden and what we've been getting on with. I am really, really hot and sweaty, so I'm going to have to get in the pool and cool down. But I'll hopefully see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want any more information about things I've spoken about, check out the description below, and I'll put any links to anything I've talked about in the video in the description. And then if you could share this video with your friends, and also check out those Facebook and Instagram pages for Portugal Muse, because I keep sharing anything that I think might be useful for people that are thinking of moving here, or people that are already here and they've just got here and they're figuring everything out. I quite often post stuff on the Facebook page and the Instagram page that I think could be helpful. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.